What's going on, YouTube? So happy 2018 to everybody. I haven't made a couple videos in a couple weeks. Wanted to take some time off with the holidays. Work has been crazy busy and just wanted to enjoy some time with family. But my little 2018 goals for this year are just have some fun with this. You know, I've always created this channel to have fun and to be informative, mostly with owning an exotic car and just maintenance costs and how I run it. But on top of it, you know, things like my Audi and just day-to-day stuff. So I'm kicking back off with 2018 with a video in response to Dan Hurlbert's video on car diversity. It really resonated with me, and it's something that I feel like we need to start speaking about and talking about just in the car communities, because I'm getting sick of it. I'm getting so sick of it. Before I begin, it was -1 yesterday here in Ohio. I just can't. It's starting to get to me. It's that time of the year where it's like, okay, is it spring yet? Is it spring yet? Not yet. So the Audi's just trashed. Everyone's saying, where's the Ferrari? Where's the Ferrari? The Ferrari is sleeping. I mean, there's no way in heck I would ever take it out in this salty, corroded conditions. I can't do it. I would cry driving. I'd be sitting there just going, it'd be terrible, it'd be terrible. So let's look how bad the Audi is. So for all you people that don't live in a snowy climate, this is what happens every single winter. I saw Troy Sowers just made a video on saying like he can't stand it, and neither can I. I mean, this is terrible. I wax this car, you know, quite heavily before I go into the winter mode, just to try to keep her clean. I do wash it every week because you can just see up in here. I mean, it's just terrible. It's just absolutely terrible. And I mean, it's 3D on the paint. This is how much salt they put on the roads. So if you're ever wondering why some guys don't drive their sports cars in the winter, I mean, this should be enough evidence for you. Shout out to guys like the Stradman that just go for it. Luckily though, it's hopefully gonna be warming up here in these next couple days. Like, look at the rear end. Oh God. This is so hard for me to even film. Another update I would like to make is the Plasti Dip. So the Plasti Dip on the Audi that I put on, it's actually holding up really well. I'm really impressed with how well it's holding up. This whole front end gets peppered by salt. I mean, you can just see all these little specks there. That's just from salt kicking up onto this plate. It is what it is. Our roads are covered. And it's really holding up well. There's not even many chips in it or anything. This whole springtime, I'm going to repaint it, or re-Plasti Dip it, whatever you want to call it, and you know, try to get it more of a smoother finish. Some of you guys commented on my last video and gave me some tips and tricks on how to do it a little bit better, and I do appreciate that. Okay, so to get back on my topic of this video, replying to Dan about car diversity, I 100% agree with him. Car diversity is what makes life interesting. It's what makes this hobby and sport fun and exciting. And what I'm getting sick of mostly is just kind of how people are just so narrow-minded with some brands, and then this whole horsepower war we're in. So first of all, you know, he talked about everything from the different brands, manufacturers, you know, competing against each other. Oh, well, you have this, that sucks. Or just the stereotypical, you have a Mustang, that sucks. A Mustang's a great car that I have a lot of buddies that have them, and they're a blast. And I mean, value-wise, you can get a V8 5.0 Coyote motor in a Mustang for, like, used in the $20,000 range. Manual transmission as well. You know, if you're wanting to look for manual. The reason why I highlight that is there's not many other manual V8 cars you can buy right now. I think that's awesome. So, you know, there's a lot of cars out there that people just rag on, and I get it, it's fun to do, but it's just getting really old. The biggest thing for me though is this whole horsepower generation. It's like you buy a sports car, the first thing people ask, well, how much horsepower does it have? You know, I don't care. I do not care. It's like some guy asked me once about the 550. What's the 0 to 60 on it? I was like, I don't know, 4s somewhere. It feels fast. I just don't care about that stuff. You don't buy a car 100% for 0 to 60. If I was looking to do that, I'd buy a Corvette used for like 30 grand, throw a bunch of bolt-ons on in a supercharger and call it a day, or buy a GTR. Just go buy a GTR for 55 grand right now, or like 60, and throw $3,000 with bolt-ons on it, boom, you have a great fast car. So I'm just so sick of this whole horsepower war we're in, where it's getting really annoying because that's all we talk about. And I'm curious to see what's gonna happen in our generation, these next 20, 30 years. Are we just gonna keep on chasing these numbers, 0 to 60 and blah, blah, blah? I mean, what happens when we get 0 to 60 in 2 seconds, 1.5? Why? That's not even enjoyable for me. I made this one analogy to this one time to guys talking about, they're ripping in their GTRs or in their really fast whatever. And they're saying, man, that thing's really fast, compared to your 550. And it's like, yeah, it is. It's a lot faster, but I'm having more fun. I can promise you I'm having more fun just enjoying the experience than just ripping off shifts and doing, 100 miles per hour here and there. So, I don't know. I just don't know what's going to happen with our industry as a whole. I think that's my biggest question and my biggest kind of problem as well with it is, where are we going? What is the future? What's the next step? I actually think we're going to kind of take a step back, and we need to start making cars that are more enjoyable. The biggest problem with McLarens that everyone's been hearing, I actually just went down to the McLaren dealership in Miami with my girlfriend, because I'm actually really highly interested in a McLaren one day. A 12C right now can be had for like $120,000. And while that's a lot of money, that's cheap compared to what a new one is, or a new 650 is. I mean, that's a lot of car for in the $120,000 to $150,000 range, a lot of car. So what happens when they keep on depreciating, they get down to 80, 90, who knows? I don't know if or even when they will come down to that, but if they do, I might be interested. So I went to go look at them, and the biggest thing I've heard of these McLarens and everyone that has been telling me about them is they're just kind of a little soulless. They're really fast. Same with the 720S. Everyone has been, I saw a 720S and it was beautiful. So everyone's been talking about the 720S, but it's a little soulless, and people rather have that 458 Speciale or just any more cars that are more engaging, even a Huracan. So that's kind of where I personally think the industry should go. I hope it goes. I hope it gets more to enjoyable versus performance, because I'm just sick of quoting these numbers. I'm sick of doing these drag races. Sure, I get it. It's the heritage of the sport, but we're getting to the point now where they're so fast for the street that, I mean, where do we go now? 0 to 60 and what? What's the point? We might as well just start doing 0 to 100, because 60 is now irrelevant. It's too quick. We're talking about tenths of a second now. So that's just my biggest issue with the whole car community, and just people saying, oh, well, you should have bought this because it's faster. And I just have never understood that comment. You should have bought this because it's faster. It's not like it's 100 horsepower Yugo. It's still a very fast car. So that's just interesting to me, and I'm just curious to see what's going to happen. On top of that, with diversity, it's fun to have buddies with different cars. That's what makes this enjoyable. I love meeting up with my buddies, and it's like, hey, I've got a Porsche here, I got a Ferrari here, I got a BMW M3 here, and I got another Porsche here. I mean, that's cool. Then we talk about it. We can talk about what we like about the cars, what we dislike. So that's at least just my opinion, to see where it's gonna go. I'm just sick of everyone ragging on everybody, and it's just a horsepower wars. It's just a horsepower wars, and I get it, some people are really into that. I'm just not. That's just the type of car guy I am. I could care less. I'm more about the driving experience than quoting how fast I can go 0 to 60. Hey, to each his own. Everyone's gonna have their own, thing. Maybe for 2018, let's just all be accepting of everybody and start being like, hey, I like your car regardless of what it is, because we're all sports car guys. I even went to this one little meet, and there was a Subaru WRX there, all nicely done. I mean, really well done, modified. I even went up to him, I was like, hey, I love your Subaru X, and he's like, oh, thanks, do you have one? I'm like, no, I don't have one, but I love them. I mean, I think they're so cool. I have actually tried to make my A4 WRX, but it didn't work. It's all right. So, I like every car. I'm a car guy, I really do. I like every single car. There's not really one car I dislike. Hey guys, so for 2018, I'm gonna keep on making some videos on the A4, at least now while the snow thaws. I'm actually taking a trip tomorrow to Tennessee. I'm getting a roof rack. I've always wanted a roof rack on this thing. I can throw my bike on there, I can throw skis on there. It's skiing season, so you might as well enjoy it. I found one on Craigslist. It's a Thule roof rack. The MSRP on these things are usually like $800. It comes with a box. I got it for $125. Can't beat Craigslist. So driving all the way down to Tennessee though for it, but hey, whatever. And then on top of that, once the snow thaws, we'll get some Ferrari action going on, and I'll make some more value videos and some other things coming up. Okay guys, well have a nice day. Stay warm out there if you're in this snowy climate. Oh, it's terrible. If you haven't been on this channel yet, please subscribe. Got some cool things coming your way. I'll see you soon. Bye.